think we're live. What is up, everybody? It is Friday, and it's the first show that we've ever done like this before. And if you are just now joining us for the first time, I know a lot of you are going to be watching live, but a lot of people are going to be watching this on the replay. My name is Joe, and what we do is, I need to turn this volume off because that's going to get confusing. There we go. Sorry about that. Working through the technical difficulties. I used to do a lot of live streams when I did phone farming. This YouTube channel used to be a lot about phone farming, so if you're not sure what that is, there's some older videos that you can click through and watch. But I know we've kind of been transitioning over the last couple of months to reselling. This is what we've been doing for 4 years. My wife and I, we have eBay business. And we mainly have sold consumer electronic devices like cell phones, modems, routers, tablets, computers, that sort of thing. This last year, summer, we started transitioning to buying Amazon customer return pallets, and we are now purchasing big, huge truck loads. So we did a, what's up, Amanda? We did a live video of that yesterday of one of the pallets. We got 24 pallets in the beginning of November, and we've only got 3 left of those, and we are getting another truckload in like 8 days, but we're doing smaller small box pallets. So if you are joining in, just let me know where you're from. So kind of some things, if you're new to this channel, what can you expect now is just mainly unboxing videos, pallets, kind of these weekly recap videos. We've got videos that we're going to do next week. A lot of it's going to be live content just because we're so busy. We've got 3 small kids right now, 6, 2, and not even a year old. We're still getting settled into our house and our business because we just moved both in November. We moved our business here November the 1st, moved our home November 17th, and we're not even done yet unpacking everything. But this is our what did we sell this week. And if you see something, you got any questions about what we do, kind of how we do things, just ask at any time. I will do my best to answer questions as we go. But we'll kind of switch over the screen here and transition it over so that you can kind of see kind of some numbers, kind of what we are looking at. And kind of for us, we do normally, our sales have been down the last really 3 months since we moved, and there's a lot of reasons. We'll do that in another video, kind of the lessons that we've learned reselling in 2018. But for us, we have typically done $25,000 to $30,000 a month in revenue. That's not profit, that's just revenue, and which is a lot of sales. You know, profit margins have been good. They have changed, which is why we're doing Amazon truckloads now. So things are kind of transitioning in our store. And this last 7 days, you can see here, today we've done $400 so far. You can see yesterday we did 700. We did 700 basically on Wednesday, 650 on Tuesday, 730 on Monday. You see this last weekends, they were down. And then this is kind of the pre-week Christmas rush. So last 7 days, $3,700, which we haven't done those numbers in a long, long time. As you can see, we're down 9% over the previous or the last 30 days. I think we can go down here. We're top rated sellers, you can see, and going here, we're up from a year ago this time period, but it was just me and one other person, which it's kind of me and one other person right now. We've had a couple employees this year, and one, he has moved away, and then Dedrick, he is taken off this month. So right now it's just Whitney and my wife and I. So, you know, obviously you don't list as much, you don't get as much, which that's cool. So my current eBay balance, I don't know if y'all can see it, it's hidden right there. I think y'all can see it. Yeah, right there, $2,000, and I pay daily. We pay $100 every single day because our fees usually are between $2,000 and $3,000 with promoted listings and FedEx shipping. So that's that. So we'll talk about some items that we have sold. And you're right, Amanda. I will, refund tax time season for us. I think you're talking about sales wise. I think you're right. Sales are going to be very good. It's kind of why we like to do cell phones, and you'll see as we go over some items that we have sold is that cell phones have a very fast sell-through rate. They don't always. We don't make as humongous margins. We make 4 or 5 times what we pay for the item, which is still pretty good. But a lot of those items we sell pretty quickly. So that is that. So we'll kind of go over this last week numbers that we're looking at. That was a slow day. You can see breakdown of selling cost each day. But these are kind of where the numbers are, the items that we're looking at this week. And so about $700 we've averaged this week, this business week, starting Monday. And we have active listings. I can see if I can go to that real quick, just so you can kind of see. I know a lot of eBay people, they say that you can anticipate about 1% of your active listings to be sales each day, which for us it is higher. As you can see there, we've got $38,000 in inventory listed right now. We've got 1,600 items, but we've only got 900 listings. We do have a lot of duplicate items. We got some of these small box items to be like a whole case of like 50. So it's kind of neat like that. So we'll look at what we've sold last week. And kind of one of the I got this kind of sorted by dollar amount. So we'll kind of look at kind of the high dollar items. I woke up this morning to this one right here. We actually we sold a whole lot of games this week. PlayStation 1 games. We had a box of games that was gave to us by a family member, and they didn't realize what they had, so we're not taking all of the profits because there's about $1,000 worth of games in that box, and they were amazing shape. So we're going to give them some money from those, but woke up this morning to this item right here. If you are a gamer, I think I posted it in one of the groups today that they think they have this game. We sold ours for $200, which that's about what it's going for. Is $200, so it's a nice little find to have for that, especially since we didn't have to pay for it. We are giving out some money for that, and so it's good. You can see here we got this dumbbell. It was sold by promoted listings. We do all of our promoted listings, or all of our items. We do 5% promoted listings. We sold this item this week, $150. The buyer paid for their own shipping. So it was $31 to ship, which I think it was only $25 for us, which was good. And so I know some of these usernames you can see, so I apologize about that. But it's just a dumbbell. It's one single dumbbell, 50 pounds. It's got all these different kind of weights. That was a pretty good item to sell. And so $150, that's a good one. This came off of one of the medium box items. We got another one here, a $100 item, a feather bed mattress topper. It was another $100 sale, $110. I think it cost $20 to ship it to Illinois, which we use pirate ship for that. And yeah, man, games are expensive. We've been, we had no idea about games. I know a lot of people bought games out there. But we had no idea it was that big of a market, so we've been scouring Facebook, Marketplace, Craigslist, trying to get a hold of more games. We're going to go hit up some thrift stores and pawn shops around here. It's another video game that we sold this week, $100. We just listed these on Monday. I think we listed like 20 games on Monday. We've already sold like 10 of those. We got another item that we got off the medium box pallet. It's a $50 sale plus shipping. We got cell phone. That's our highest dollar cell phone that we sold this week. I know for us, there's a lot of people that they buy expensive phones, and a lot of people, they make very good margins on those buying expensive phones. But for us, kind of what we have done over the years is we've got our own little micro niche within the cell phone arena, that we deal with a lot of lower end phones. A lot of, see, that's a Metro PCS. We get a lot of Metro PCS phones, a lot of prepaid devices like Boost Mobile, Straight Talk, Simple Mobile. That we sell a lot of cell phones. When we were doing 30,000 a month in revenue a while back, granted we were listing, we were pumping out a lot of stuff, and before kind of our supply kind of eased back a little bit, because we were buying ridiculous amounts of phones when they were available. They're not as readily available for the margins that we want now, which is, one of the reasons why we've transitioned to carrying other stuff. We got this one, it's a $58 sale, but it's 4 phones. They're all cracked glass, cracked glass, cracked glass, cracked glass. And you're like, why do people buy phones with cracked glass? And that's because there's a market for it. There's the phone farming community out there, which what that is, you just run different applications on devices, you hook it up to the internet, and it makes you money watching advertisements. And but there's an international market. There for a while, about 40% of our business came from international, either to the Dominican Republic or to the country of Yemen. But about 30% of that, it was from the Dominican Republic, and it's still very high amount of business comes from the Dominican Republic, just because of how they can buy phones. They can only buy, usually 2 or 3 at a time. So, a lot of phones, these phones I get for $2-3 a piece. Average sale transaction is like $25. And so, it's some money to be made there. Plus, they have a quick sell through. A lot of these, thank you, Amanda, for liking and subscribing. A lot of these phones, because I've been doing it for so long, I think we've got like 700 people that follow our eBay page. A lot of those are cell phone people. I'll list a phone and it'll sell within 4 or 5 hours, or it'll sell that night. So we got another game there. It went to Canada, so they paid for shipping. We've got another cell phone here, $55. We've got more cell phones here. These are all like cracked glass. Google, I believe he's a phone farmer there. $50. It was 5 items. So $10 a piece, but pretty good. Got a little diaper bag that we sold. That was a medium box return item. Air mattress. All kinds of stuff. More games, cell phones, and got a mop bucket. 2 mop buckets that we got, $40. Those went to Louisiana. I don't know what is going on in Louisiana. I did an advertisement on Facebook. If you're a reseller and you don't advertise your eBay page on Facebook, there's a way for you to do that. We've gotten a lot of traffic from that. You just do different ads, and they're relatively cheap. They're relatively cheap. They're pretty cheap compared to Google. So if you're not advertising there, I would encourage you to find out more about it, because it's to be a good way for you to drive some traffic to your eBay store. Even if you have a Facebook page, we've got a Facebook page. We sell a lot of items through there. But we've got more games. We got cell phone cases, more cell phones. You can see there. And yes, I know. We'll click on this one here. This just goes to show you. This is a. I put the picture upside down there. I forgot to turn it around. It was listed there. It's a Metro PCS phone. That I like Metro PCS phones. What's up, Newfound Past? How are you doing, buddy? And enjoyed your stream this morning, so that was awesome. Appreciate you giving me the plug there at the end. We've almost got 1,000 subs now, so that's awesome. I didn't plan on getting there that fast, so we do plan on doing a little giveaway. I think that's the going trend on YouTube, is to do a giveaway of some sort. So we'll probably do something like that. You can see there, my feedback, 98.6%. It's dealing with cell phones. Cell phones can be tough. You know, especially when you check the IMEI number, and then it says it's clean, but then they get it and it's not clean, it can't be activated, or people don't read listings. People don't read, which, you know, it's part of it. And but it was cracked glass, unlocked. What does that say about Metro PCS? What's up, CX Scuffed? Appreciate you tuning in. Is that Metro PCS phones, you know, they have an application on the phone that you can connect the phone to the internet, and there is a device unlock button on the device. So you can unlock it to use with other GSM service providers like AT&T, T-Mobile. People that buy phones, you know, they're going to know these things. But I guess that's, you know, one of the things about cell phones. You got to know a lot about cell phones just because there's so much information. And I'll probably at some point in time do a video, maybe even a live video, because I think that'd be better for what's up, Junk Trader. Appreciate you tuning in first time. That's awesome. And if you're tuning in the first time, my name is Joe, and my wife Jessica, she's sleeping in there. We stayed up till midnight playing Minecraft last night. We got my oldest daughter Jolene, who's 6. We got her Xbox One. Is really for me. We got the Xbox One for me for Christmas. And we stayed up till midnight last night playing Minecraft. So she's tired because we've got a 9-month-old, our son, who is all about his mama, and he likes to wake her up at 5 o'clock and to play. So here's another item there, and just more Amazon items that we got: door handles, facial steamers, more cell phones. That's an AT&T phone. You're like cracked glass. Yeah, it's a prepaid phone. It sells for like $60 brand new, but $30 cracked glass. More sales there. What's going on, Turtle Trader and Robert Tuttle? Appreciate y'all tuning in. And if y'all got any questions, you know, my business model is totally different than a lot of other eBay sellers because I say I don't thrift. I go out and I buy things from thrift stores when we're out and about, but I don't get. I get maybe 0.5% of my inventory from thrift stores or from flea markets or garage sales. I know a lot of people they hit at Walgreens, Walmarts, all kinds of places. Some people drop ship, but for us, you know, our business model in the past has been we have found a few suppliers, which I am not going to name, with cell phones that, you know, cell phones. If you haven't seen our, I think there's a video I've got somewhere that talks about kind of how I started, how I became a reseller, and I'll try and post it there. You can go back and watch it, and but it'll tell you more. I don't want to bore all you, but you know, I think at this point, the people who are going to watch are staying on, and usually people on the replay, they don't really watch this far in. And but more sales here, just all kinds of different stuff. That's more Amazon stuff there. That's another game that we got, somebody gave to us, which you don't know what I'm talking about. You can go back and watch that. We got a lot of phone cases on that medium or the small box pallets. Lots of phone cases, a whole lot of phone cases. Which we found that the ones that sell are like the Samsung Galaxy S7 and above, Note 7 and above, Apple iPhone 7 and above. We sell all of those. It's the other ones that don't sell. You got this guy here. You know, he bought this little LG Tribute here. He buys, I don't know, 2 or 3 phones a day from me. He does a lot of business. I've got some people, they do, you know, I've got one guy, he's probably bought $15,000 in phones from me this year. And yeah, you know, you got truckloads. We like the truckloads, you know, especially we do some bin sales to get rid of a lot of the cheaper items. So that's kind of, you know, we're getting down to the $20 items, and for all those items that we sell on down to our cheapest item that we sold this week. Let's see, that was a refund, $7. And you're like, why would you sell a $7 phone? Well, I get my money back on it. You know, people will buy it. I can list it in 5 minutes, and this phone, it don't even power on, And some of these phones, they probably started off at 12, 13 bucks, but I've had them listed. And you see here, like this one here, it's got that number right there. That's kind of our inventory number. I used that before I was able to figure out the custom label. So that there is that was listed week 23 of last year. That's what that 23 is. And then that was number item 466 that was listed that week. Let's see if I think the rest of them are going to be custom labels. That was week 30 of last year, week 30 of last year. So they've been up for sale for a while, and yeah, you got to get rid of them. And I think, once they get down to less than $6, I won't say sell anything for less than $6. I do sell pretty much once they get to that point, because it's $3 shipping. And most of the time on some of these items, I may only paid $2-3 for it, so I'm getting my money back for it. But I sell them for scrap gold. You can put 20 pounds of these cell phones up for scrap gold on eBay, and that'll sell for probably $100 to $120 for 20 pounds, which that's probably about, that's without batteries and battery covers. So you're talking probably, without batteries and battery covers, the phones probably weigh 2 to 4 ounces. So you're talking about 6 to 8 phones per pound. So it's not a whole lot, but you get money back, and especially for phones you get that are junk and stuff. So I think we'll transition from that page. I don't know if you got any. We only did as a down week, $3,300 on eBay. I think we did probably another $500 or $600 locally. Or through PayPal. I got some buyers for cell phones. They tell me what they want, and I just invoice them on PayPal. But that was the highest one for the week, $199. And I think the week before, let's see, we'll look at that. I think the week before we had a couple $100 items that we had sold. And so you're asking, we got this goal. Somebody bought $150 plus shipping. We sold a desk riser, so if you like to stand up while you work, we got that. And to answer your question, Robert, I'll even look at, you can look at my return percentage, and I don't know if I don't think there's nothing wrong with this. And go to service metrics. Mine, they are lower. Let's see, my returns for what category is this? Cell phones and accessories, which is the category where most of the returns that I have. I'm in the average category, so mine's 2.61%, where my peers are at 3.61, and that's going to be peers, top-rated sellers, is where they compare that to. And I think we had 68 returns over, that was in September. We'll go to December. Had more returns this last month just because there's a lot of dang things that got broke. And people not reading. I think this December is the time of year where people just buy. They buy and ask questions later. We had so many people buy things that they didn't read the listing. We sell a lot of iPhones that are iCloud locked, but people overseas in Europe buy those. They've got some fancy software that will get past it. And but we sell a lot of that, but people just not reading listings. So that's where a lot of our returns came from, which I'm fine with 3.6%. We do offer free returns. A lot of people, they don't like free returns. I love free returns because it saves me. It saves me, especially since we've started selling a lot of new items or new other items that have never been used because of Amazon. I'll go ahead and transition over here, unless there's something else that y'all want to see on this right here. And we'll look at, I think that's cell phones and accessories. That's there. And I'll go to a different category. I think baby items was that there. Baby items, I didn't have enough. No 5 transactions, no returns there. Cameras and photos. 1 item returned out of 19. That's not enough for a benchmark, and I think that was just, we didn't test it properly. I think it's usually for some of these tablets, computers. We got a lot. It's 2.89%, 5 out of 173. So Couple returns. They don't anymore, Robert. I'd say there are a few that do. And if y'all have questions about the metrics, I'll go back to it so y'all can ask questions if y'all want to get nosy. Some returns discourage me. Those are the returns where they're not being truthful. And it doesn't really matter because I offer free returns. It's the returns that people up, and it's just not. I'm a justice seeker. I like to do things the right way. Well, I say that. I find, as long as I agree with the rule, then I'll do it. But the people that don't tell the truth, they discourage me. And it's more of a frustration and not a discouragement. I guess I'm on that camera now. I had two different cameras. They used to really discourage me because there for a while, we didn't have a lot of money. So if I had a $20 or $30 return, that meant that I may not be eating that day just because we were buying groceries day by day just because, just for paying off debt and budgets and, just making dumb decisions. And but now they don't really frustrate me. I just realized I shifted that mindset to returns, or they're just a part of the business, man. And there's so many people that get ruffled about returns. They don't like them. They get frustrated, and I can't believe this person is wanting to return this item. And I'm close up there. It wasn't that way on my other one, so I'm pretty close. Sorry about that. Didn't realize I was that close. But I try not to get frustrated about returns. Just accept it. It's part of the business. You're going to have returns. That's why I offered free returns. I'll tell you why I like free returns is because occasionally I get people that use the item and it gets broken, or they've used it. I had one guy, they bought a diffuser. It was a brand new diffuser, had never been used. I sold it for a new other condition just because I opened the box just to make sure there was nothing wrong with it. And he bought it and didn't like it. So I got it back, and there's still water and essential oils in it. So guess what I got to do? I got to refund him up to 50% less. And yeah, I refunded him for half of his transaction. So at least recovered part of the shipping. And I lost some money because I couldn't sell it for new anymore. I had to sell it for used. And at that point in time, selling a used diffuser, it's not worth selling online, so I put it in my little box in the back that I'll sell locally when we open up to the public for bin sales. I'll try to sell it then. And then I had another guy. We made a mistake. He had purchased a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which that's what he thought he was purchasing. That's what we listed it as. But it turns out that it was just an S7. And he actually, when he got the phone, he took the battery compartment off, actually damaged the battery compartment. Then he realized, I've got the wrong phone. So I accept the return. We messed up, but I got it back, and it was damaged. It was messed up. So I refunded, I think 20% less. But it saved me a lot more than it's hurt me with free returns. I very seldom get people that want to return the item just because they change their mind. My returns have actually gone down since I started offering free returns. But I'm in the cell phone arena. Cell phones and electronics are typically higher returns. So I'm fine with that. To answer your question, I think I answered. If you got any more questions or follow-up questions, just ask me. West First Brooks, you like to similar to the phones. I don't have a store. We have the warehouse. I've bought some phones from people in the past, but in my area of town, and really I'm in a college town. There's probably 80,000 people here, but probably 25,000 of those are college students. Is that these phones, they try to sell them for what you can make on eBay, even more. I'll look on Facebook Marketplace, and I still look on there, but they try to sell phones for more on there than what you can buy them on eBay. And of course, I can't make no money that way. It's something I would love to be able to do, especially on higher end phones. That you can buy, an iPhone 7 for $250 and turn around and flip it in 2 days for $450. But for me, it's just I'd rather put that $200 so I can turn that $200 and turn it into $1,000 or $1,200 instead of $200. What's up, RJV Farm Man? You still phone farming? And so I think that's it. I think it's right about 3 o'clock. It's what time we wanted to end the day. I think we're about to head home for the day. And I've got my sister and brother-in-law coming over for dinner tonight. And if you got any questions, I'll stay on here for just another minute. And yeah, so I hope y'all have enjoyed it today. And I don't like the view. I had to dig out my camera because we moved here in November, and we haven't even unboxed stuff yet just because we moved in on Monday, got set up on Tuesday. They delivered our first truckload on Wednesday, and we've been going ever since. And so now it's slow. We're kind of slowing down a little bit, and yeah, they probably. I think the returns. We get some electronics. Yeah, that happens, dude. People do that, and I've gotten a few. I've sold so many items over the years. We sell, probably, I don't even know. I've probably sold 20,000 items, and I've only experienced that 3 times where people have sent back something different or didn't send back something at all. And 2 of those things were actual returns. I got a piece of cardboard back once, and then I got my own envelope. They just cut it in half, put my envelope that they just cut in half inside of the envelope. But the great thing about that was, I know with eBay stance, and I understand people. That's what people get so mad about, with recording videos. Videos, like they record, a video of them boxing up the item before they ship it, the serial numbers, and you can do all that if you feel good about it. But according to eBay and the stuff, like that stuff doesn't hold any value, because you can still alter the video. You can say that you did it, but you can create a shipping label that's just like the shipping label that was used for the transaction. You can have another item of that you can do that, so you can actually recreate an original shipping situation that it just doesn't hold up. So like, I don't worry about all that, because it's, some people happen to it, but I also don't sell a lot of more expensive items, but I also offer free returns. So if it does happen to me, then I can choose to refund them up to 50% less. So I had some guy, he bought an $8 phone and sent me back the envelope. I refunded him $4 because that was the most that I had to refund him. I've had it done with an iPhone 6 where somebody returned me a piece of cardboard for an iPhone 6, and that time actually eBay, they took care of me. And so that's kind of my spill on it. But it happens, Robert, especially, with all these Amazon pallets that I get with doing that, especially with the medium box returns. I haven't seen it a lot with the small box items, just because a lot of those are shelf pulls where they never actually were sold. They're brand new items. But the medium box, man, the pallets, they can get frustrating at times. They're good money. I'm probably not going to buy a whole lot more of those just because they require more work. The margins are a lot better on the small box items. And I don't know, I just think they're, just the potential, because you're getting 600 to 900 items per pallet, to where you're only paying like 30 to 40 cents, depending if it's 600 or 900 per pallet. So 30 to 40 cents per item. And, you get 10 $30 items, which you're going to get 10 $30 items out of there. Then everything else is profit, and there's some good money there. And but on the pallets, is that there's so many people that return junk, especially to Amazon, because now Amazon, I don't know if you noticed, but from what I'm understanding, what I've read, is that Amazon is now encouraging buyers, if they're FBA, that you refund the buyer when the item shows that it is in transit back to the facility. And they don't check the boxes. Amazon doesn't go through the boxes to make sure that the item is actually in there, because these items are sealed. And we're getting like a lot of auto parts. The auto parts will be the old auto part. It'll have the new box, but it'll have their old brake disc or their old rotor, their old head gasket will be in there. I've seen it with vacuum cleaners. Actually, that vacuum cleaner box, it was completely empty. And I was excited too. I looked at the box and I was like, whoo, that's like a $500 vacuum cleaner. And then opened it up and there was nothing in the box. I was like, dang it. Which that was rough because that pallet sucked. I got so many dang umbrellas, outdoor umbrellas and canopies. Those 10 by 10 foot canopies, which those are going to come in handy when I do parking lot sales this spring. We're going to order a truckload and just put the pallets in the parking lot and let people dig through it. It's crazy watching adults dig through this stuff, man. They get that dopamine hit and they find something that's good and they're addicted, man. So it's crazy watching people. I can't imagine when I put a whole pallet out there with people digging through it. It's gonna be crazy. I'll get some videos and show, and then a couple others. I mean, there's just a lot of return fraud with that stuff. So Robert, the intro, there is return fraud out there. You can blame a lot of people like to blame eBay. I've never seen so many more butthurt people than eBay sellers selling on eBay. I don't know if it's any of y'all that are on here watching and you're always complaining about eBay, but then my thing is could you be doing what you are doing without eBay? Like, could you be living the lifestyle that you're living? Could you be having the eBay business or the reselling business that you have without eBay? And if the answer is no, then get over your fence, figure out how to be a better operator, work within the confines of the system that you're operating in, and then go forward. Use that time and energy to focus on becoming a better lister or a better marketer or a better operator, whatever it is. Like, quit complaining. It's like I made a post in eBay Sellers Anonymous a while back, and granted, I was complaining about the complainers, about all the people. Like, I feel like there should be a separate, like an eBay support group for all the butthurt people about eBay. That all they do complain about eBay is they're limiting the amount of items that I can sell. They're throttling my selling things. They're hiding my listings. And granted, there's some glitches. I've noticed glitches with eBay too. But get over it. It's my take. People just complain to complain. It's like when my sales are down, I don't sit there and complain. I celebrate when my sales are good, just because I want to encourage you like that. You can have some good sales. Like, it is possible to have good sales, but I don't use that time to complain. When I'm down in sales, I'm like, okay, well, let's figure out this promoted listings things. Is that going to be worth it? And it has for me. I'll kind of show you while I'm thinking about it. I'll go through my promoted listings real quick. Y'all can kind of see. Transition back. I know some of you may not even want to see this, but here we go. It's my video. And so this is kind of one of the campaigns that I'm running right now for the last 31 days. We've got $6,000 in sales over the last 31 days. So that's looking at if our sales for the last 31 days are 20,000. Last 31 days are 21 grand. So with that, the last 31 days, 6,000. So you're looking at probably around 29 to 31% of my sales are coming from promoted listings. So for me, it's worth the 4%. You know, it's worth, and it may be more. I think for 1 week I did 10%. Christmas week, because I wanted to see how it did, and I didn't really find a lot of that. And this may be the week here that I did 10%, but that's on that's the number of clicks right there. We'll go to sold, and you can see here, December 28th. Those are the people that they didn't have time to look. They weren't going to go search, so they were looking for the first item on there. They bought it, so it's 14 items sold in 1 day. We got some other high days here, 12. You know, up here we even got some lows of 4 and 5, 4 and 4. I think today we've sold 2 items. I think we've sold like 7 or 8 items today. So about 25% of that is from that. We can go to the last 7 days. So last 7 days we've sold $1,000. So you're still looking, you know, the last 7 days, what we have done is $3,700. So you're looking at, let me get over here, about 25%. Do that. What kind of things sell over and over again? You know, I carry a whole lot of items. I don't sell a lot of the, I sell a lot of the same items, but different conditions. You know, cell phones. We sell a lot of the same phones, you know, because there's a lot of the same phones that come in. But as far as other items, you know, I couldn't really tell you what things sell over and over and over. Modems and routers are a killer. You know, when I see them available from one of my suppliers, I buy them. They're usually Walmart store returns. I buy modems and routers and tablets. They sell, tablets will sell usually within 48 hours. If you got them priced right, you know. But for me, you know, my pricing philosophy is that there are some people that they price high and wait for the right buyer. Me, I want my money to use it to buy something else. You know, if I had, you know, $30,000 just sitting there, it would probably be different. But I don't have $30,000 just sitting in the bank, you know. So for me, like, I want to see how quick I can turn an item and use that money and just snowball it. It's like if I sell a cell phone for, you know, $25, you know, that I paid $4 for, you know, it's, you know, the margin there, you know, making, you know, roughly $20. But somebody may hold on to it for 3 weeks and sell it for 30. Well, what I did with that $30 or that $20 is I already bought 4 more phones at $5 a piece. And I bought those 4 phones, and I've already turned them into, you know, if you sell 4 phones for, you buy them for $4 or $5, and then you sell them for 25. Well, then I turn that original $5 into, you know, my math is getting lost. It's Friday, but $100 in 2 weeks, and you're still waiting around for that $30 sale. Well, I've done snowballed mine, and that's granted in you know, that's my philosophy, but I don't sell a lot of specialty items. If you have a specialty store where you sell a lot of specialty items, that's going to be for you, because, you know, it really depends on what you want to do. I don't like to hold on to my money. You know, I want to get rid of it, use that money to buy other inventory, and I just want to get rid of it and go. You know, if I get an offer on a $30 item that somebody offered me 20, and I've had it for 3 or 4 weeks, I'll probably take 20. Like, why am I going to finagle over $5? Why am I going to wait an additional 2 weeks to make $5 more? Like, I don't want to do it. Granted, if you're selling several $100 items, it may be different for you. But at the end of the day, like, if you're selling $1,000 worth of stuff, I'll transition back to this one. But if you're selling $1,000 worth of stuff, the same can be, you know, for expensive items. It's still percentages and margins. So I think that's it. Kind of ranted there, and got 11 people watching, And appreciate y'all. I know it's kind of spur of the moment kind of deal. And that's 3:15. And I appreciate y'all. Good feedback. And if y'all see Jesus right there, it's his head. I've got the full body somewhere in here. And I opened up a box one day, and there's a cardboard Jesus in the box. And I was like, Jesus has returned. He has made his Amazon return. So I think it's it for me for today. Be looking out next week. I'll probably do a couple of scheduled events next week. We're going to do kind of my top 5 lessons learned. Maybe 3, I don't know. Maybe 10. We'll kind of see. But we'll do a live video, just lessons learned from reselling in 2018, just because we transitioned a lot last year from 1,000 square foot office space to this 2,500 square foot warehouse, changing product lines, not really changing, but diversifying product lines. Just lots of ups and downs, lots of lessons learned, and I'll share it with you guys if you want. That's it for me for today. You guys have a great weekend. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the like button, and appreciate you. Peace out.